Hey, I'm Jake.
And I'm Owen.
Today we're going to play Gloom. It's a sad game about happy people and sad people.
The person that gets to go first is the one that had the worst day.
So the worst day? I had a pretty good day. I got to hang out with my friend. We went shopping.
It's true.
I mean, it was kind of bad because I couldn't buy those records that the lady hadn't paid for yet.
So, I'm the circus family. We don't really have to go over all of them, but we can, I got Thumbelina, a very tiny but fat diva. Sam O'Toole, who's the bearded man.
Yep.
It's not very good for circus. Sinister Ringmaster, Darius Dark. Illustrated Lady, which I guess is tattoos. And Mr. Giggles, the creepy clown.
These things are dead.
Mr. Giggles always has a smile for the children.
So, what is my family, like scientists or something? Looks like I have Elias E. Gore, a grave digger, Grogar, a teddy bear work in progress, Professor Helena Slogar, an eccentric inventor, Lord Slogar, a brain in a box, and Melissa Slogar, cadaverous child. So, looks like it's the Slogar family plus Gravedigger that's putting them all together. I'm going to say that Professor Helena Slogar, who is now responsible for the estate of Lord Slogar, who's a brain in a box and can't do a lot, was not as good with finances and therefore was crippled by creditors. The player to your right may randomly select and keep 2 cards from your hand.
No, I can keep. Do I have to?
So, she got crippled by creditors and left the rest of the family alone. Never returned. So it's just 20 negative, but at least it's solidly 20 negative. See, I don't know if I get the point of the game yet.
You flip them over.
Okay. And then I draw 4 more cards.
Yeah, you draw up to 5 cards. Well, even though one family member has died, Ellis had a lovely picnic in the park.
Why is there 2 different pluses?
Because that's what you get.
So it's plus 15?
Because the cards have different ones around. Yeah, it's plus 15, but you might have a negative that only will cover up this one, so it'll still be a plus.
Okay.
Because there's basically 3 different spots where stuff can happen.
So you can't then keep layering it up. It just
you keep layering it up. Oh yeah, well it replaces if there's the negative is here, it'll replace the 10. Yeah,
but what I'm saying is that this is 10 and a 5. Well, if you had another card that was like a 10 and a 5 and you play it, is it now a 20 and a 10?
No, it's just whatever's on top.
So it's just about having...
You can have up to 3, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
So what's it say on there? Draw 2 cards?
Yeah.
So you have to draw 2 cards.
I draw 2.
And the lovely picnic lid to a wedding. See, it cancels out the 10.
Yeah. And now my draw limit's increased by 1 card?
But you already have over 6.
Yeah.
So.
Do I have to discard any extras or?
No.
So, with the house now empty and the master bedroom, I'm adding some details. That's
okay.
Cool. You are recording, right?
I believe so.
I believe so. So, now that he had a picnic without the bother of her bantering on about her brain husband in a box this and brain husband in a box won't pay for that, had a picnic in the park where he met a lovely lady and they had a great time. They were married. But at the wedding, however, they served salmon without telling him. He can eat other red fish, but the salmon sickened him. He was sickened by salmon. So now I have to discard a card each time. Oh, that's tricky. But modifier, not death card, right?
Yeah, this is the modifier, negative or plus.
Okay, so that means I have to get rid of 1.
Negative discard one.
Okay. And not only was he so sickened by the salmon, but due to his allergies, he suffered from sores.
Okay, it's decreased by 1 now.
And now that that's covered, that thing no longer applies to me,
yep,
right?
Just the top one.
Okay, so I've
you
got 4
can
cards.
only, yeah, you can only. Alright, my hand's not very good, so I'm going to play Root of All Evil, draw 1 card from each opponent's hand. You can see those 2 are resting pieces. I'm going to take this one. That doesn't really help me at all. Seamus O'Toole was blessed by the bishop today. He's feeling pretty good about that. 3. And then I can draw back up to 5.
That's the end of your turn?
Yep.
Alright, well, he away at his wedding, Elias E. Gore, amidst a plague of salmon madness and a Saurus reaction, them at their beautiful wedding on the lake, stumbled in, lost control, drowned in a bog, very dead and unhappy. Your good old friend Samson O'Toole, one of the few blessed members of the circus, and feeling quite good about himself, as he was awash with the sin of his profession and freak prostitution, slept happily knowing he was a saved man.
Mr. Eyeball Plucker in the closet.
Yeah, so that's the end of my turn. I draw 4.
You got rid of that card. You're back to 5.
Oh, well, I draw 4 because I have one in my hand.
Well, Mr. Samson O'Toole seems to be pretty good and happy until he decided to go on holiday. It was pretty horrible.
You must have gone on holiday at a Jewish
Probably shouldn't have played that one first.
Why?
Now I have to get rid of my entire hand.
Oh. Sure you don't want to change your mind about it?
If you'll let me.
I'll let you.
Before his holiday, he was skipping down the road.
And he said, "Oh Lord, why do you try me?" But having broken his bones, he found a gift certificate for a free holiday.
And it was terrible because he was bedridden with broken bones.
Or maybe he was already going to the holiday.
I can't draw cards. So.
Oh. Really? So next turn you'll just be drawing cards?
I draw cards and then it's your turn again.
Yeah.
Look at all the negative points.
Mm-hmm.
They ruin it.
Now my family is an unfinished teddy bear, a brain in a box, and a little girl wondering where both her mother and the only other person in her life that matters are. But in the death of her family and the incapability of her brain box father, she landed a legacy. She became head of the house, youngest head of the house, no doubt. Draw 2 cards. Well, however, so did the fates turn. For, in gaining the legacy, she too had a holiday that did not go well. It doesn't say it has to be mine. It's just 2 living characters. So, her holiday went poorly. At the same time, he, who had just had a bad holiday, gained the legacy of being the most injured person at the resort. And is doing much better about himself. And I've still got a full hand, so.
That was my turn.
Old Melissa Slogar. After that bad holiday, she was never the same. She, having had a bad holiday and now being called, "Oh, ugly girl, oh, braided bear girl," was chased by children. Constantly chased by them. No good. Barely at home at all. So that means I give 1 card of my choice to you. Backward. As she was always chased and pestered by the other children for not being normal, she took to the drink. And, her being young with a very small body, she drank too much rye. Wait, is rye alcohol?
Yes.
She drank too much rye and she died. Is that okay? And she's dead.
Damn. I'm getting my ass kicked. Oddly enough, the brain in the box has found love. And he was wonderfully wed.
Remarried now that his wife is gone. Someone seeking his fortune, no doubt.
You just draw 2 cards, buddy.
Oh, I do? That's right. It's so confusing how that...
Mr. Giggles was out making children scream, as he does, when they started throwing snakes at him. And he was very menaced by snakes.
However, he found that they were silly snakes. Silly, silly balloon snakes. And he was happy.
More
Yeah, well, they were toy snakes, so he wasn't as disgruntled. However, the children definitely weren't bothering him, but being like many clowns, he was diverted by drink. Discard 1 card from your hand. I should use that on the other guy, whatever.
Well, it turns out your family is kind of crazy.
Really?
The teddy bear is imaginary.
So it's just no longer there?
Yep.
Well, he was unfinished anyways.
And being super happy with his marriage, he ended up running for office. Luckily, the voters are morons. There you go.
I have to draw 2 cards.
Yep.
The brain in the box.
You're doing pretty well.
Yeah. However, like many politicians, was involved in what's an event card? Is that these ones? Or is that these ones? Oh, okay.
What?
Never mind. So the brain in the box, and his cabinet more likely, stole from a dead guy. That dead guy was someone in the government who was very rich and died. And he actually stole body parts because part of his overall foundation is making weird imaginary teddy bear people. So he was found out for that, and that did definitely soil his campaign. Well, I'm going to do this just because, why the heck not? It seems like a tactical move, but I'm not sure. Now, your old friend, who I like to pick on a lot, old Samson O'Toole, who now had the legacy of being the most injured man, well, he went out and was very boisterous about it. He was telling everyone, yeah, I'm old Broken Bones at the hotel. However, then the cops said, old Broken Bones, eh? We heard that old Broken Bones robbed the bank. Which wasn't great for him, but not a lot worse off than he was. However, he no longer played event cards. I don't know if that makes a big difference or not.
It does. What I was gonna do. The old Mr. Giggles, who was very happy from his drink, was then ruined by the rum.
Well, appropriate.
While drunk
That's it.
and
Skip your draw phase. Okay.
yeah, while drunk and ruined by the rum, somebody pushed him down the stairs because they find him creepy.
And they were able to claim that he just fell down the stairs drunk and were never caught.
So that means technically I do get my draw phase.
Oh, there you go. Oh, shit. I was about to do something and I realized, well, that could make it more interesting. But I do sort of want to... This guy stole from a stiff, and as he was being prosecuted, well, after the prosecution, his new wife said, we'll go ahead and we will take you to SeaWorld. So they took this floating brain to SeaWorld, and unfortunately his tank tipped over and dumped into the water tank, where he was mauled by a manatee. As he was being mauled by the manatee, being played around like a giant ball, brain-shaped ball, he was knocked out of the tank, landed in the heating element for one of the tropical fish tanks, where he was badly burned. Can I kill him? Or is that thing I can't? Because overall it's negative.
Yeah, he's not super.
Okay, so he's dead. The whole family's dead.
Yep, that's in the game, and I only killed one person, so we already know that you won.
Okay, I don't know. See, I almost used one of these, and I was like, oh, I'd let you draw 2 cards. You would have hopefully totally
I was gonna try to use this one,
draw 4 cards.
but then you played that. I could use that. Because I was gonna do some negative stuff, and then I was gonna draw this, because one of them I canceled my draw, but then I would have had my full hand in.
Yeah.
And you had too many people, but...
Oh, but you had a lot of extras, so you could have played them all until your hand was back down.
Yeah. If you only had one person, so it wouldn't have been good, but like, if you had more people with a negative, I could have played this and made you discard your whole hand.
Oh, yeah.
I was just getting horrible draws. It was just like all positive.
Yeah.
Plus the start, we all had like... I could see when we were handing out, it was all like death
Yeah.
cards.
I like that game. We should definitely play it again. We should bring it next time again.
Okay. I guess it's matches.
Maybe. We haven't even been through all these cards, so.
It's true.